When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared DuBois, coming at you on a Sunday night. It's a Sunday night. It's a Sunday night in April. And here's what I know. The very wide differences between me and Mr. Jared DuBois. Here are the differences. Now, I did go to visit my dad in Pensacola, Florida, this past week. I got back on Tuesday. It was not quite there yet in Pensacola. It was not. He has a pool, very nice pool. My kid might have gotten in there. My 13-year-old might have jumped in, risking hypothermia to do so. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
He wants to swim, but when my kid tells you, "Oh no, I'm good with the pool. That's enough pool for me," you know it's not the ideal pool situation.
Yeah.
Mr. DuBois' kids jumping in the pool in April, and I'm guessing it was a little toastier, like a little bit more comfortable out there.
Not just that. There was like a
SoCal.
pool. There was like a summer pool party at my house last night.
Jesus Christ, man. Wait, hold on. Let's get the scene. I want to know. First of all, this is a neighborhood event. This is a friends and family.
I wish I had that kind of like cul-de-sac kind of thing where everyone like.
Oh, you don't have the
like
neighborhood
Nikki
vibe.
Soup and Salads out there in everyone's garages and stuff, like having drinks.
Nick is wearing the Kiss Me I'm the Chef or whatever apron, and he's cooking on the grill, and he's waving to the neighbors like this, and he's got a sausage right there, and he's holding it up on the fork, and he's like, "Hey neighbor, come on over, have some Natty Light, sit in the garage, let's eat some sausage."
So what actually happened is that my wife and a few other friends of my wives all had to go to a bridal shower.
Key party. Oh, sorry, what?
Had to go to a bridal shower. So the rest of us were like, "Oh, you know what? It's the same time as El Trafico. Like, why don't we come over and we'll watch the game? Because my buddies to play soccer." And so they came over and brought all the kids, and we had 4 days of 90-degree to 100-degree heat in the middle of the week, and I threw my cover on, and it only takes like 2 or 3 of those with my cover on to heat my pool. So like it was good enough and all the kids went in, swam all night. We barbecued. It was like a summer night, dude.
Was there a fire pit involved? Do you have a fire table? Or
I have a fire pit.
You did not bust it out?
Nah. We were watching the game, you know. So
okay.
And then because there's no ladies around, we played Catan like gentlemen.
Okay, sure. I didn't know that was a gentlemanly pursuit. I've heard of said
there's
game.
certain wives that are not interested in playing with us when it comes out.
Don't know what
You've
that
never
is.
played Catan, dude?
Never once played Catan. Don't know
Okay,
what that
now
is.
you're putting on your Jason Davis, I'm talking down on this kind of thing that you do to anything that is not your norm. And I'm telling you right now, you would love Settlers of Catan.
I'm sure I would. I like a game. I'm a good game guy. I'm a game night guy. I just haven't had a chance to do said game night in a long time, and it's not a cul-de-sac situation in my
I'm
neighborhood
going to put this
either.
out there too. True or false?
Okay.
Jason Davis has toppled over more than one board game in his lifetime.
No. I'm not. I was.
You don't rage?
I was a sore loser for a long time as a kid, especially. I had issues with that. But I'm not a throw the board over kind of person.
Okay.
And now, as an adult, I definitely don't care about losing now. I want to win. I play to win. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not like a dick about it. Like if I lose, I lose. So what? You know, that's the kind of where I'm at. Anyway, you had a pool party. I went to Pensacola and didn't swim. And then now here we are. Talking, we're in the post. Is this a honeymoon period, or are we out of that already? Like, are we done with the honeymoon
After qualifying,
period?
you mean?
Yeah, after qualifying.
You know, I think it's more like a hangover than a honeymoon period.
Oh, that's probably on point. What's the hangover cure for this, though? Because you would get some Pedialyte for adults, you would take some Tylenol, some Advil, some aspirin, whatever it is you take.
It would have been like Gio closing out
food.
Gio closing out the Bundesliga strong, and Christian like performing well in the Champions League. That would have been the hangover cure. But instead, like I woke up with the world's worst headache, dude. Like this is a rough weekend.
So the Chelsea experience for Christian Pulisic against Real Madrid that didn't bother me all that much. It really didn't. Like, I know we're going back a little ways, and there's a game that happened. I wasn't concerned. I knew he wasn't good, but Chelsea wasn't good, and Real Madrid was good, especially on the break, especially with Karim Benzema doing Karim Benzema things. So there's actually a very good piece by Liam Toomey at The Athletic, who he writes on Chelsea. He covers Chelsea, English football writer, and he used Christian Pulisic's rating from L'Equipe, which is the French sports paper, right? They gave him a 2 out of 10, and they said that they called him a ghost. And they also said he was off at halftime, which he was not off at halftime. He came off later for Romelu Lukaku, who was also bad, by the way.
Missed like 2.
And Liam Toomey said something like, player ratings are garbage because you can't separate the player from the team, right? The team performance greatly impacts how well a player looks or how good a player looks, and certainly in a position of Christian Pulisic. Now, when he got his opportunities, he wasn't great. When he did get the ball, he wasn't great, but they weren't able to find him in space. They did not have a setup that allowed them to do. You could say, "Oh, well, Christian Pulisic didn't find the space." Did you watch how Madrid was defending Chelsea and how poorly Chelsea handled that defending? I mean, Mason Mount wasn't good. Nobody was good, right? So I wasn't worried about that. But the Giovanni Reyna situation, and man, I haven't even had a chance. Like I haven't even had a chance to use that the way I wanted to. Remember when we put that in the board? We have this era coming. It's the era of
the G-Funk era.
The G-Funk era is upon us. It's funked out with a gangster twist. And he got hurt, didn't play in World Cup qualifying for 6 months, came back, and we didn't even really get a chance to use it in that last window. We were so preoccupied with other stuff.
But was a revelation in short minutes.
Yeah, no, he was great, but we got excited. And, man, I would have loved to have played it this weekend after he returned to the field as a starter for Borussia Dortmund. Erling Haaland's in the lineup again, and then, they're going to go out and they're going to stomp Stuttgart all over the field, and then 77 seconds in, the man busts something in his knee, comes off crying.
Hamstring. They're saying torn ligament, torn tendon.
Torn ligament. Okay, so torn ligament in the hamstring behind the knee.
And I can't remember. I think it was Robert Gonzalez, or no, I can't remember who it was that reported that. To take with a grain of salt, though, because in Germany the word torn they use somewhat differently. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's like the grades. You never a strain is actually a muscle tear, but we use the word strain for the lowest level of muscle tear and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, since we are talking about qualifying, and, I know these are bummers right now, especially the Geo situation, we are giving out our qualification awards. Did we settle on qualies? We can't call them besties. The besties are our people, so they can't be the besties. So they're the qualies, and we'll be handing them out. We have... Okay, Nick wants to come on the show. Is that what I'm getting here? Okay, well, Nick, hold on. Let me play you in.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
You're out there with your. What is your apron say? People are saying Grill Master. I think it's got a pun on it. Your apron when you're grilling out.
Grill.
So what it would say on my apron? It would be a joke. It would say, "How does there's a phrase for it? If fat means flavor, then I'm effing delicious." So that's what I would wear on my apron.
Nick, what were you gesturing wildly to tell us?
It's the best of the best.
Oh, okay. He doesn't like qualies, Jared. This is behind the curtain now. We're pulling the whole thing back. We're just throwing it open. This is a hangover, right? You don't think straight. You don't get your stuff in you don't remember what clothes to put on. Your pants go on backwards. Oh, I'm hungover. Apparently, he wants us to call these the best of the best, which is part of our open these days. The best of the best.
Okay,
from the movie,
I'm down with that.
I'm
down for that.
You got to be on brand.
It's
best soccer show.
That's true. That's true. But I kind of think of these as the People's Awards because we did put this to the vote. So the quali sounds like the Grammys.
The best of the besties.
Best of the besties.
It's not bad.
If they're the ones voting. We're workshopping this on the air, by the way.
The besters. Yeah, this is what we do. This is the high quality entertainment that we give you every week. The besters. The best stars? No.
All right, best of the best, and then we're going with it. That's it.
All right, thank you to Nick for jumping in here to sort out the name situation. So that's coming later. We have MVP of the qualification process. We have, what else?
Best meme, best crowd environment.
Do we put best goal in there? I don't think we put best goal in there somehow. We did put best celebration.
I think
But I
you're
don't
right.
think
I think we did.
Let's go. So, look, if there is a quali or a best of the best award that we don't get to, we are accepting right
Which is
into
interesting because I know for a fact when we were talking about this, I put the "oh baby" like moment. I remember writing that
You did.
like "oh baby."
Yeah, which I don't.
Hey, get Nick back on here. You're freaking fired.
Okay,
What the heck?
go
What
ahead.
happened, Nick? What happened with my
What do
"oh
you do now?
baby"?
What happened now?
I'll have to go back and look.
Oh, you go look. It'll
don't
say "oh
remember
baby."
that.
I guarantee you, it says "oh baby" in there.
I think we. Yeah, I don't know.
We.
This is what happens when Morgan goes off to a country concert on the beach. That's what this is, right?
Did we not do that one because we all just assumed it was going to be the goal from Dest?
Could be, but at least we should. have
We
people decide.
assumed that. I mean, people have different ideas of what a good goal looks like.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the way the goal looks. It could be what the goal meant.
Could be what the goal meant. Absolutely,
enough.
it could have been Christian Pulisic scoring against Mexico. It would have been Christian Pulisic.
Size doesn't matter, guys.
Okay, that's not what we
Well-
were talking about at all. Like,
It's how you use the goal.
Well,
you have an
let's-
apron that says something to that effect. It's not the size of your sausage; it's the flavor it contains.
There you
We'll
go.
be sure to in 2030, and the next qualification process,
So far away.
we will include the best goal of
Yeah, we don't have to
CONCACAF.
qualify. In 2026, we're gonna be like the best goal of the friendly warm-ups, guys. Let's go.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Is there any player? How many players on this cycle right now will be on that team?
Most of them.
3/4 to more of the team. I would.
Okay,
bet.
so we're talking about they're going to be 32. Anywhere from 28 to 32.
Oh, you're talking about 2030.
2030.
A third
changes
to a half. I would guess.
Give me
'Cause
two
there's-
players. Give me
there's
two
some
players that
18
will
and
be on
19
that
years.
team.
Gio Reyna.
Gio Reyna will be on that.
I
team.
don't know if I'd say that.
Oh, well, he's saying he's injury prone. Nick is what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm getting John
That's
O'Brien
what he's
vibes
saying.
over here. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
dude,
Like,
now
No,
see,
you
that's
went there.
That's a jinx.
I
man.
tweeted
You
it 3
can't-
days ago. Get over it.
All right. Phone lines are open. It's
Yes,
at
they are.
717-727-2378. We will get to the best of the best, the best of the best awards, the qualies, whatever we're calling them. Felix in Chicago, our regular, the first one in line every single time. Felix, what's up, man?
What's going on? First one in line, they get the most time to talk.
Ooh.
That's why I do it. I was going to say some awards. I don't know if this came up in the poll, in the polls that you guys are doing on the socials this week, but I was thinking what your thoughts were on biggest surprise over the qualification process. And
As a person or like a thing that happened?
maybe as a player, as a player that coming into qualification we weren't sure about, then coming out of it, and I have my idea. And then my second question I was going to do before I forget is try to be more positive with it. Best answer to a question coming into qualification, right? So if we were like, we weren't so sure about a certain position or a certain formation, what have you. And again, I have my ideas, but I was going to say for at least for best surprise coming in, I was going to say Brendan Aaronson.
I don't
just read it with all the time.
maybe.
He had to fill in with Pulisic and Reyna being out, and then he was fairly effective. I don't think he's a starter, but I think he's easily, everyone's healthy, first one off the bench, so I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. Biggest surprise.
My biggest surprise is something I think Jared might end up taking. So
I have the
feeling like
same
should-
thing for both answers, by the way.
The
both
same
of the things
go,
he answered.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it's Kellen Acosta and the backup
Okay.
CDM position. Those are the two things where I think Kellen Acosta was not even close to most people's minds at the beginning of qualifying. Colorado had a great season. That kind of launched him into that conversation. And then we've been talking for a long time. The most essential player for the majority of the time was Tyler Adams, not just because he's good, because the drop-off was so significant. So having that backup player that established, I think, is kind of an unsung kind of thing we don't talk about that much.
Okay, I think in terms of biggest surprise, it might be Walker Zimmerman becoming the first center back on the team sheet every time. Not
Yeah,
that he
that's
couldn't
Captain.
have not that he couldn't have been in the mix at some point. You might have even gotten there. Again, he wasn't even in the team he got called into before when he took the job, right? He wasn't on that roster. So to have him become now the guy in that spot, I mean, I know there are arguments out there for, what happens when Chris Richards is 100% healthy and informed. I understand all those things are going to be part of this, but at least at the moment and down the stretch of qualifying, to have Walker be the guy is a bit of a surprise. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe surprised also in a negative sense, Jared, is that there wasn't a clear choice at center forward anywhere throughout. Pepe had his moment. We didn't know that was coming. That was a shock. And then we just never got a guy that locked that spot down. And I think in every other qualifying campaign we've ever seen, the U.S. found a guy, and that was the guy. Even if they rotated, Josie was the guy, or Brian was the guy, or I just can't even remember at this point.
And while we're on this subject, I know, bring in Nick. I know he wanted to had a thought on this one as well while we're on this subject. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, it's funny that you bring up Zimmerman, because I don't know if you guys vaguely recall how I pitched this to you. I was like, we should totally do awards about the qualification process and like MVP, Unsung Hero. And the reason I thought of this is because I thought to myself, where would this team be without Walker Zimmerman?
Yeah.
He was massive for these guys in qualification. And I don't know if he was going to get the credit. So
Walker Zimmerman allowed Berhalter to toe the line he wanted to toe with John Brooks. If you didn't have Walker Zimmerman, does that happen? Are you bringing up Miazga? Like, where are you getting center backs if you're not going to bring in John Brooks if Walker Zimmerman to step up from not on the call-up sheet to captain of the team? That's the evolution he made over 6 months.
Yeah, it's like being an understudy on Broadway and then becoming the star when the
he was 3-time Defender of the Year or something like that. Nonetheless, it's not like he's not known.
He's back to back. He's going for a third this year.
Sorry,
yeah,
you're right. I apologize. I predicted him for third. That's
you did pick that for MLS this year. All right. You got anything else there, Felix?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe biggest answer, and I think your Zimmerman call was 100% right, and I think Nick is. I think Nick is 100% on the how huge Zimmerman was for us. And, and it's funny, even the conversation now, I think amongst some fans is still who we're going to call in to basically put Zimmerman back on the bench, right? As there's still, you guys are with the whole CCV and Brooks and, basically anybody who's kicked a ball in Europe is better than everybody in MLS and these kind of like overly simplistic arguments. So, that's an interest. Yeah, that's 100%. That Zimmerman's probably the biggest surprise. The other one I was going to say was the best answer to a question coming into qualifying. I was thinking probably outside of the obvious one of center forward, the other big question I think was who was our midfield going to be. This was still in the, Berhalter trying to squeeze in Acosta every chance he could. This was Leggett starting every game. Yeah. Right, and then we kind of came into the McKennie, Adams, Musa, the MMA, and how I'm not sure. Did they ever lose a game when those three started? Did they ever lose a game?
It's a good question. So I have to go back and look at the lineups.
But I would say that's probably the best answer to an open question going into qualifying. I don't know what your thoughts are.
That's a good one. That's a good one. No. And in this 4-3-3, thanks for the call, Felix. In this 4-3-3, Jared, you better have a very solid midfield trio, right? And they better understand how to work together. And if you're going to play with a lone defensive midfielder, he better be excellent at covering that ground and doing the work, right? And that allows the guys ahead of him to be aggressive, to go forward, to leave space, because there he is to clean it up. Now, we talked all the way through the process that if Tyler Adams goes down, it changes the equation dramatically. Now, if you're playing lesser competition, maybe you get away with Kellen Acosta. If you're playing some of the better teams, and this is going to be the concern of the World Cup, right? Because Wales, Scotland, Ukraine, none of those teams are going to be pushovers. We know about England, and Iran is not going to make it easy, especially if they sit deep, which I've heard some different kind of viewpoints on how they play, but they have a solid attack. They come at you when they do have their opportunity. Well, you better have somebody to cover that space or be in that area. And if Tyler Adams isn't available, okay, we got some problems. We still got those problems, right?
Yeah, I want to pivot Felix's topic and maybe into a slightly different one question. Is there a player without a U.S. Qualifying cap that will be on the World Cup roster?
Without a qualifying cap, meaning they didn't play in a game, but got called in.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, I would say that wasn't even called in.
Wasn't even called in.
Is there
Scally
a player?
got one call? Did Scally get one call up, or did he not even get in a team?
Didn't he get the December camp?
That doesn't count as a qualifying camp.
I can't remember if he came in for the December camp or if he came.
I think Scally would have to be top of that list if he didn't get a call up to a qualifying camp.
Yeah, I can't remember if he got called into any qualifier camp or not. I know he came in for a camp. I just can't remember. I thought for some reason I'm thinking it was Cupcake, but Or
I don't think so. I don't think he played. I don't think he got a call up to a qualifying camp. So I think it would probably be Scally because of the fullback issues. Beyond that, I mean, man, I'm not.
I think maybe there could be conversation about Cameron Carter-Vickers by next year. There could be. Let's see what movie he makes in the summer, if any. But I mean, how many Defender of the Years for a league does a team have?
So you're imagining a scenario in which Cameron Carter-Vickers finishes out the year strong with Celtic.
Yeah,
gets a move back to the Prem, maybe.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't have to be there, but it could be. I mean, it's something that's a little more challenging there. But let's be honest. Like, we're talking about John Brooks is still not a piece of this, and we don't have any reason to think why he would be. Let's just take him out of the conversation because Berhalter has. Sure. You have Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, Chris Richards.
Okay.
And then it's a question of Aaron Long or someone else. I mean, Che's not in that conversation. Mark McKenzie's in that conversation.
Mark McKenzie is.
But could Cameron Carter-Vickers push on Mark McKenzie potentially?
Here's okay, but that is purely speculation because Berhalter's given us no indication. I mean, so for example, somebody said that Berhalter was scouting Brian White. Brian White plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps. I didn't know that. So this is from Harold. He says, heard Greg was checking Brian White. Would you be surprised if he gets a call in June? Now, look, there's lots of teams coming up and different camps coming up, and Berhalter will handle them different ways. Now, June is Nations League. He said he's going to call in the strongest team possible for Nations League, but he does have some teams that aren't going to be the strongest teams possible, and maybe that's a spot for Brian White. He's not going to stop developing other spots just because Brian White might not be a World Cup player.
I know he wants to. Good.
What my point is that we haven't heard. Have you heard of Greg Berhalter making a trip to Celtic Park? Have you heard about him being in Scotland to watch any games? I haven't. So why would I have any sense? Not because I don't think Cameron Carter-Vickers deserves a shot, but because I'm not the one picking the team. If Berhalter hasn't shown any interest, if he hasn't had his head turned by Cameron Carter-Vickers, why would I believe Cameron Carter-Vickers has a real shot? Or
here's the tough thing too. Do we really think that Christian Pulisic, who just played entire Premier League season, qualifying, Champions League, he's not going to get an off-season break at all? Like, you're not going to give him some of those games off? I mean, there's guys that have played a lot of games over this last bit, Like,
he'll get a break. He'll get a break between June and August when the Premier League starts again. Like, there will be a couple of weeks in there.
We have friendlies in there.
Breaks. Huh?
We have friendlies in there, too. You don't think he's going to bring him into the friendlies?
Friendlies are September.
The U.S. friendlies are in
September.
The two Uruguay ones are both in September? Okay.
I believe they're supposed to both be in September. But we can get into the schedule. I mean, I don't know. That's a little off topic. Let's go back to the phone lines. Again, phone lines open, 717-727-2378. We encourage you to jump in here. And we are very close to getting into our Best of the Best / the Qualies Awards. Ray in Milwaukee. What up, Ray?
Well, there's two things I want to talk about real quick. The first one is you talk about timing of this World Cup. If there's a 30-year-old goal scorer who's scoring a lot of goals and yet he's played over 30-something games, or do you play someone who's maybe scored 1 or 2 goals and he's only played like 9 games and yet he's a younger guy with fresher legs? Who are you bringing?
To a World Cup?
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm bringing the guy that's scoring goals. I mean, that's pretty easy for me. I don't see why you bring someone that's not in form. If you, I don't know. Are you trying to say Pifok versus Pepe? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm talking about Josie Altidore versus the field.
But you're saying Josie's scoring goals. Josie Altidore's not scoring goals.
No, I know that, but there's a possibility he could reach form and score goals.
I don't know about that.
So hold on. If you want to talk about wild hypotheticals, let's. I'm going to set up Ray. I'm going to set up Ray's hypothetical for you, Jared, and we'll turn this into
as a pick your poison.
Absolutely classic pick your poison. And let's not do striker A and striker B. Let's just make the names.
Okay.
Josie Altidore takes over for Adam Buksa in the summer when Buksa is sold. He then, and the Revs look terrible right now. They just gave him Inter Miami their first win of the season. But he starts scoring goals, starts banging them in for the Revs. Let's say he scores 10 goals in, that's a lot, but let's say it's 10 goals in 15 or 20 appearances, second half of the MLS season.
Starts?
Let's say half of or 3/4 of those are starts. 3/4 of them are starts because Buxa leaves and he's a starter now rather than a bench player.
Okay.
But let's say it's 10. Let's say it's a good number. That's a solid number for a second half of or any season. But let's say he sprinkles them in and loads up at the back end. And as the MLS season ends, whatever happens to the Revs, he's got 10 goals. And then Ricardo Pepi, who's at Augsburg and hasn't scored a goal yet, right, and has been bone dry since he arrived. Let's say that he scores 2 goals as the European season starts. Right, you now hit the November break. He scored 2 goals for Augsburg, and probably I think Augsburg got some points. They may stay up, which probably wouldn't be great for Ricardo Pepi, to be honest with you. But let's say he's doing it in the Bundesliga. 2 goals in the Bundesliga. He's a 20-year-old striker, or 19 or whatever he is at the time, and Josie Altidor's 31 at that point. You take Josie Altidore, who's on 10 goals from an MLS season. When you know who he is, you know his age is going to keep him slower, but he can score. He's got some form. Or you take the kid.
You take the kid in that scenario, and here's why. Josie Altidore rarely plays in a 4-3-3. Used to playing with a strike partner. And also...
Jared,
yes?
Jared, can you tell the LA Galaxy to say that when they tweet that about Ryan Chicharito over JJ Macias?
What's JJ Macias?
JJ Macias is a Mexican striker. He's okay. Come on, Ray. You know where the biases lie. Let them be who they are, right? Let them pump their
but
dude
let me
up.
finish my point on this. Is that Berhalter is extremely pattern based. He's not going to bring in a guy that he has not brought in for all these games to play a pivotal role. Now, Ricardo Pepi, he has played the system. Berhalter knows what he's going to do. Pepi has an understanding of what Berhalter's system is. You're going to bring Josie Altidore, 4-4-2 kind of specialist, into a 4-3-3 and a bunch of guys that we're going to run fast and press. The key to Berhalter, why he plays Pepi, is because he presses. He presses when he wants. Do you see Josie Altidore running those minutes and putting putting pressure on defenders?
Go ahead.
I'm not bringing him in as a starter anyways. I'm bringing him as a substitute person coming off the bench, and you're going to probably switch 2 people up top anyways when you need a goal scorer.
Yeah, if that's the case, every coach, I think,
need a veteran.
I think every coach should have the freedom to have one personal call up that they just is like a rabbit's foot for him. You know, like who's that guy that you just want to have on the team because maybe it doesn't make sense, but it makes you feel right. Take that guy, but you're not starting Josie Altidore at the World Cup.
No, of course not. No. It's again, maybe that's not the best. I mean, we have to talk about real world people. We have to talk about actual players. It makes no sense to just kind of make up. Oh, here's a profile and here's another profile. Who you take it? It has to apply. The United States is not going to be in position.
Far more likely to take CJ Sapong than Josie Altidore.
Okay, I mean they're not taking either one of those.
I'm not disagree with you, but I'm just saying like I find CJ Sapong to be far more valuable to me than Josie Altidore.
Josie Zardes is 100 times more likely to go.
Josie Zardes is Josie Altidore with less goals and younger.
Okay, he's 60% of Josie Altidore is what I'll give you. Yeah. It's maybe what that is. Yeah. Anything else, Ray?
Yeah. Well, the second thing is like my biggest surprise is actually Triple G. I thought that the criticism of him was too harsh. This World Cup campaign played out the way it played out, and as most people and experts expected it to play out. They struggled on the road against teams that bunkered. They were never really healthy ever throughout this tournament, and I thought the criticism of him was too much at times at the lows when you don't have Christian Pulisic playing in form, when you don't have Weston McKennie, we don't have Tyler Adams. We're not as deep as I believe as certain Americans want to believe.
Well, let's be honest though. Not having Weston McKennie in certain games was Berhalter's call. Now, the last couple, he didn't have a choice in it, but there were games where Wes McKennie didn't play, and that's Berhalter's choice not to bring him in. But I'll say this. I think criticism, like a ton of criticism for Berhalter now is rough. That's probably not warranted. He did the job what he was hired to do. Won a Nations League, won a Gold Cup, and qualified all in one calendar year. The dude did what he was supposed to do. But I do think that criticism of Berhalter was absolutely viable at certain points during qualifying based off of what was going on.
Yeah, there's no absolutes either way. It's not like he did a good job, so you can't criticize him, or he deserves to be ripped apart because they didn't win the group.
I don't know that there's an American out there that if you had told them a year ago, hey, if Gibraltar wins the Gold Cup, wins the Nations League, qualifies, and beats Mexico 3 times, and then even the 4th week draws at Azteca, everyone would be over the moon. Everyone be over the moon.
Maybe. Look, this is a pretty standard opinion from Soccer by Wes. I'm sorry, GGG could have done better. Triple G could have done better. We were tied on points with 4th place. We're better than that. Are we better than that? Why are we better than? I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't moments when he made mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, he made the mistake in the Panama game. He made the mistake in the I don't know, the opener against El Salvador, the Canada game.
Canada game's the one that stands out for me.
Those front end games where they were green as hell. And
the first game of qualifying where this team seems like they were talking about 9 points. Like,
well, I thought he was out coached. I thought he was out coached both Canada games.
By Herdman, yeah, I agree with that. I think he out coached Tata though.
Yeah, I think he was out coaching the first Canada game for sure. I don't think he knew how to handle that game very well. But I think in the second Canada game, they just got hosed by the early goal. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have overcome that. They had chances. Weston hit the crossbar in that game. I mean, there were opportunities there. I don't know. It could have gone either way.
And the last point I want to bring up here is the thing that I'm concerned about most going into this World Cup really isn't scoring goals. It is conceding goals. This is the least confidence that I have going into a World Cup since Tony Meola and
that makes no sense.
In 1990.
Okay, goalkeeper, yes. Goalkeeper, I get because
not if you start Matt Turner, you feel fine.
No, he means Matt Turner's not going to have any form because he won't be playing.
The defense is where I feel strong. I mean, this is a great defensive team.
Look, if you're going to have, thanks for the call, Ray. If you're going to have a dodgy goalkeeper situation, at least have a pretty solid situation in front of him. And I do think we can feel, okay, look, we can feel okay not knowing how those guys will perform against higher caliber talent when we get to the World Cup. And you just can't know what you can't know, right? We have no record for that. Will Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson and maybe Chris Richards hold up against the talent of Wales, the talent of England, with Harry Kane's going to be out there, or the talent of Iran? I don't know. But based on what we've seen, we should feel okay about the progress they made.
Am I a little bit nervous putting 2 MLS center backs against Harry Kane? Yeah, I am, but they've also played pretty well together against pretty tough competition.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. We'll leave the phone lines open. 717-727-BEST 2378. If you want to call us up and talk about anything. But let's do this. Let's get into the awards. Jared, I've pulled something up. Don't know if this is going to work, but let's see if I can add a little flavor.
Oh.
Little award show background here.
I didn't wear my tuxedo shirt.
You don't have a cummerbund. I just like to say the word cummerbund. You have a cummerbund. Have you ever worn a cummerbund in your life, Mr. Suberling?
I have not, no.
What'd you wear to prom and homecoming? Like
a tuxedo?
Yeah, I know. It's a vest, not a cummerbund?
Yeah.
Did the vest.
See, that's some cold weather shit. Why put that extra layer on? Out here, no, I'm going cummerbund all day long, dude. That's less. You're dancing, man. You can't be getting all that layers.
I didn't wear the vest. I took it off.
Have you
no
seen
vest, no cummerbund?
No, when you get after you get your pictures taken, you take your jacket off, you take your vest off, put the tie around your head.
You put your cummerbund, around your head too,
I wore like multiple layers that I shouldn't have worn when I got married in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 2018. Don't ask me why that happened. I was not in charge, right? Like, we got to the place to do the tuxes, and I was like, this is what I want. And they were like, here's what you're going to get. And my wife was like, yeah, that looks good. And I was like, no.
You didn't go with linen?
It was definitely not wool. It was not
island wedding. You got to go linen, dude.
It wasn't full linen, though. I was dressed up.
You should have looked like Miami Vice.
But I did dance my ass off, though, so I sweated. I was going to sweat
You're
anyway.
Pretty swampy.
That's what I do. I sweat. If you
you can't go light-colored linen if you're a sweater.
No, it was dark. Everything.
All
was
of a sudden,
dark.
you're looking like South Beach wet T-shirt contest.
We definitely don't need to see that. Definitely don't. Danger zone. How do the drops work over the award music? Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to dive into the best of the best / the qualies on the Best Soccer Show Awards from qualifying. Is the music too much? Should I fade it out? Should we get rid of that?
I think it's just when we're giving the award.
Okay, so let's just fade it down. I'm going to let it go. Maybe I'll bring it back up when we have a an award to give. Okay, so we don't have any celebrity guest presenters, do we? Right?
I don't know if you paid attention, but that hasn't gone well recently. So I don't know if we want one of those.
That's comedians who are hosting the event, and then people who are being awarded. That was not a presenter issue. That was okay. Yeah, nobody's getting slapped. I would love to figure out how to. Wait, which way am I going? This way.
Yeah. I figured this is what we'll do. What I'll do is I'll present the category.
Keep my wife's name. Sorry, go ahead.
Next time we talk about like El Trafico, I'll be like, keep my team's name.
Right.
Out
yeah.
your mouth.
By the way, I didn't wear my Galaxy because I'm Galaxy till I die. I didn't wear my Galaxy kit today to celebrate our victory in El Trafico out there at our home in Carson, Jared. I didn't do that tonight.
What's that home's name?
It's the Dignity Health Sports Bank Spa and Jacuzzi.
Wrong. It's Home Depot Center. If you're a real fan, you'd still call it the Home Depot Center.
Free advertising for Home Depot. Oh, what's our first award? What are we
doing
here's what
first?
We'll do. Okay.
Oh, I will present a category, and then I will allow each of you to make a decision on who you would have. I don't know if you've voted in this.
Oh, I did
not.
I see. No. This was the people. We did this as a. This is more like the Nickelodeon. What do they call the Nickel Awards?
Kids' Choice.
Kids' Choice. It's more like a Kids' Choice Award situation.
Shoot, there's gonna be like green slime coming down at any moment.
We're not the Academy, right? We're not holding ourselves up as the Academy of Arts and Sciences or whatever. Film or what do they call that? Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Yeah.
We're not that Academy, right? We're not the Grammys. We're not the music elites. We're just regular
MTV Movie
fans.
Awards. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Best Kiss Award. Do we have that? Okay, let's go into this.
So what
give us the award.
We'll save the best for last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's start off with the best meme. We had a lot of good ones during qualifying.
The best
memes. Jared,
man,
you suggested this category. Why don't you?
I did. You know, it comes down to kind of like what is a meme? What's your definition? Is it just an image? Can it be a clip of footage? I think so.
Is it LeBron going like this to his teammate?
And I'm going to say this. I don't know if you're going to agree or anything like that. I honestly think that Walkie's work this year has been some of the best memes. The Berhalter
Chris
memes.
Russell. Shout out to Chris Russell.
Like the Berhalter memes. I think those have been the top tier of meme stuff during qualifying. Man, all the Berhalter ones are fantastic.
I'm a little jealous of people who can deadpan that well. I don't have it in me. I have to go up. I have to be bigger than that. And Chris Russell kills it with a deadpan. All right, go ahead.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, I'm picking one. What did you pick? I'm sorry, I missed it.
You literally just said it. Chris Russell's.
That's not a meme. That's a How's
it not a meme?
Okay.
Berhalter bounce pass. That's my meme. Okay, how about that?
Berhalter bounce pass. I see. Okay, so that's your meme. Look, I want to go different than what I think I know the award is, but I think the most iconic moment, whether that's the most memeable moment, is Man in the Mirror. To me, there's no doubt that when Christian Pulisic pulled up his shirt and it said "Man in the Mirror" after we had already been talking about what Momo Ochoa had said, and it was like the writers were in our heads, right? Like this is what we wanted. This is fan service. They gave us fan service. If we want to treat this like a television show.
The simulation did what it was supposed to.
I think the Berhalter selfie has to be in this mix. I just love the fact that dude went over during a game and took a selfie. And
that wasn't qualifying, though, was it?
Yes.
I thought that was in Gold Cup.
No, it was the Honduras game in St. Paul, I think. Right? Wasn't it the?
Pretty sure it was qualifying.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody in the chat's going to know when Berhalter did the selfie. It was definitely a qualifier. It was 100% a qualifier.
I just felt it wasn't a big deal. Have some fun.
I'm sure it was in 2022. Like, wasn't it in this calendar year?
I think so. I think it was in January. It was either the El Salvador game in Columbus or the Honduras game in St. Paul. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Did the fans go with either of us, Nick?
So the winner, voted on by the besties and the general public, went to Man in the Mirror.
It did go to Man in the Mirror. There it is. Everybody round of applause.
Jason's just chalk.
Well, look, I knew it was going to win because, again, it's the most indelible image that we have of qualifying. And really, Jared, I mean, okay, you and I could probably do this. Like, we could go back through different qualifying campaigns and pick out that moment.
Yeah.
From, if I said the 2014 qualifying campaign, obviously we qualified for Brazil. I think we finished first in that qualifying.
Honestly, that one, it wasn't really the qualifying. It was probably the Gold Cup when Landon put on the shades. That was leading up to that, but yeah.
So I'm specifically leaving that stuff out because
Pretty sure we finished first because I remember Mexico needed a goal from...
Sanzuzi.
Yeah.
That would be the
Sanzusi would probably... And that was the last day. That was the final day. We already qualified. Sanzusi was probably that one, I think, of 2010. There was the Bornstein goal against Costa Rica to finish first.
That's true.
That was the number 9.
That was before memes were even a thing, though.
No, that's true. I'm not talking about memes. I'm just talking about the images, the one
images?
moment. So the number 9 that everybody held up in DC
Charlie
for
Davies.
Charlie.
Yeah,
that would be the one.
That'd probably be the one. Yeah.
2006. I don't remember if we had a really good one for that qualifying campaign. There probably
tough.
was.
I can't remember.
That was the second Dos Acero.
Wait, I don't know if it was a qualifier or not. I don't think it was a qualifier. Was that the one? Was that when what's his name took a swipe at Landon Donovan or Eddie Johnson when they were running by?
That was in a friendly in Phoenix. That doesn't count.
We're going too far back.
Yeah,
Deuce Face. Someone threw Deuce Face. I don't remember what year that was. Deuce Face is definitely one of them. Oh, Gucci staring down Borghetti. That would have been 2006.
That would have been 2006, I think, if that was a qualifier. And then La Guerra Fria, Brian McBride bloodied, I think is maybe it. Yeah. And or Josh Wolf's flapping shirts
with the long sleeves with the finger thing going through them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but since I'm so ADD all over the place, I should mention. Because once upon a time, I asked Josh Wolf if he had that shirt because it should be in the National Soccer Hall of Fame. I believe that to be the case. The Landon Donovan fountain. Did you hear this story, Jared?
Oh, I saw Pablo. Yeah.
Pablo went and saved it because apparently it had been taken out by the city of Cary, North Carolina. So he saved it.
So here's the conversation. Where's the place that Pablo needs to make sure that ends up? Where does that need to be?
He's saying the Hall of Fame might take it. The actual National Soccer Hall of Fame might take it. Yeah.
And make it work again? Like you could drink from the same place that Landon's lips were?
I think he said storage, but maybe I don't know.
What that should be. It should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you don't
working. Let me finish. You put it in there. You make it work, and then there's a closet with all the wardrobes the guys wore, and you could put the wardrobe on too, and like do it yourself. You could take the picture.
Like interactive. You're making this an interactive display.
Yeah, you got Mastroeni's like white and linen kind of combo. You know.
Man, I would
Kobe Jones.
I would probably go DeMarcus. I always liked the DeMarcus pictures from that.
You could just look right at the camera, just like Landon did.
Man.
So at the award shows, they play the music to get you to shut up to move on.
Okay.
Should I do
that?
Okay. Are you flashing the wrap it up sign?
I've already moved. I gotta go back. I let it go too long. It played out that music.
By the way, the fans are with me on putting it so you could pose. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were being played off. Let's move on. Okay, so best meme of qualifying, Man in the Mirror, as voted on by the people. Jared, what's up next?
All right, next one. Let's go with the best celebration. Who had the best celebration of the qualifying CONCACAF qualifying campaign, Jason?
Technically, Man in the Mirror was a celebration, but it's not the best celebration.
It could be. You could vote for that if you wanted.
You could argue that. I think though, if I'm just, I like a good athletic celebration, and then there was the element of trolling, right? It's got to be Jedi doing the backflip, and then
I think Jedi's chalk. I'm going to throw another one out there because I would say Jedi too, but I want there to be a second thing in the conversation here. For me, one thing I really enjoyed is Walker Zimmerman's passion when he scores. Like he pumps up his team when he scores. You know, he goes full on Thor yell.
Do anybody got the wand celebration from Weston?
Ooh. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's soft. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's maybe because I've never watched a Harry Potter movie in my whole life, so I don't really get it.
I think this is probably not going to be on anybody's list, and it's not really a good celebration. I just kind of like the moment of it. So Christian scores the goal against Mexico to give us the lead in Cincinnati, and then Weston scores his goal, which is a little bit of a fortunate bounce, but he scores his goal. It sees the game. We know we're winning at that point. Now, we were at home in front of mostly U.S. men's national team fans, but Weston had this instinct to do what Christian did and shush the crowd because it was Mexico. Yeah. So if you watch that, he kind of puts his finger up to his mouth like he's going to shush the crowd, realizes, oh no, I'm at home and these are my fans, and then goes into his wand celebration.
Well, the interesting thing about Weston McKennie, this is next level. This is what the next generation, this is what they can do that previous generations can't. Weston McKennie at all times somehow knows exactly where the camera is. He always knows exactly where the camera is. Like,
Dude,
have you ever seen him miss on the wand point not being directly at a camera?
He's got a personal photographer that lives with him in Turin.
That photographer's job is to scout all the locations of cameras beforehand, walk the stadium, and then have a sit-down debrief with him beforehand and let him know, here's your angles.
Yeah. There are some honorable mentions.
Wait,
the wand is
okay,
awesome. Gets one. Let's see. The worm. Now, here's the thing about the worm.
Ooh.
The worm's got a story. It's not a good celebration on its face, right? We know it's not. Christian dancing is not always the best. But the celebration is for the kid that he met that asked him to do the work.
Recently I was showing my kids, like, it was like best World Cup goals. Like, I was trying to get them, like, into it. It's like, man, no one does synchronized choreographed dances anymore, man. You like remember, like, there used to be, like, driving the bus, everyone would, like, get behind them. Like, there's dances like sambas on the line.
Yeah, I think
no one's snorting coke off the line anymore. Like Robbie felt.
If I have one serious criticism of Greg Berhalter, is that he did not foster an environment during this World Cup qualifying campaign that put these gentlemen, these kids, these young, talented, and very, very savvy and modern players. He did not get them to do some sort of choreographed team celebration, Jared.
Yes.
It's an absolute failure on the part of Greg Berhalter. I mean, it's
not
ridiculous.
one of them ran over to the sideline, put down on a knee, put the other knee out, and have Greg Berhalter put his Jordans on his knee and polish his Jordans. Like, how did that not happen?
That's actually funny. Yeah,
I know it's funny. I thought of it.
I think we're being played off.
God damn it,
There is
Nick.
also.
How does he have drops?
William has a point about the man in the mirror. What was interesting about that is that Christian and Weston did this thing where they were like in a mirror with each other.
Mimicking.
That was a nice little addition, which people didn't really pick up on. Yeah. Okay. What's next?
All right,
Mr. Suberling.
We haven't even given out the award yet.
Oh, here it is. What's the who wins? Who wins for best celebration?
For best celebration goes to Jedi.
Okay, it is Jedi Robinson.
He's doing some Jedi shit right there.
Welcome, Anthony Robinson, up to the podium.
Fully
to give
inverted.
us his
Like, that's
his
like Top
speech.
Gun. He should be flipping the bird in with a Kodak.
And we all know what made the celebration was the fake injury.
The walk
Was the
off,
troll.
yeah.
That
troll.
Got me.
I mean, I was fooled. Oh my gosh.
All right.
All
So
right.
that's best celebration. What's next?
All right, next one. Let's have some fun with this one.
Okay.
Also a category that Jared recommended. The most swaggiest player of the CONCACAF qualifying campaign.
I'm very completely
USMNT.
inconsistent with this music. It's going to come in, it's going to go out, it's going to be part of it, it's not going to be part of it.
You
It's
do
fine.
you,
Whatever
Jay.
it is.
The more you talk about it, the weirder it is.
So I like making it weird. It's what I do. Let's go. Okay. Swaggiest player qualifying.
Man, okay, and listen, I think everyone knows where this is going, but there are a couple guys you could talk about with this. Andy Robinson's rocking a stovepipe in the 21st century, first of all.
Okay.
Like, full kid and play, you know?
Yeah, no, he went for it. Yeah.
And he's throwing backflips.
That sort of high top fade situation has made a comeback. It has. And if
Yeah,
you
if you got best celebration, you got some
Or
swag.
you go if you got the ability, you go mini dreads on top of that. You keep it high and tight, and you go mini dreads on top of that. Anyway,
Wow.
go ahead.
That's full on. That's full sideshow Bob right there. I will also put
what's out.
Tim Weah, man, like hit him what right? Like Tim Weah got that sauce. He got that swag.
Oh, here we go, saucing them up. Hit him, what?
What about the Geo run?
The Geo run is pretty damn
was some
swag.
swag.
It's hard to give a guy an award when you've only seen him for like 10 minutes over qualifying.
Yeah. No, but
You can't come in here dark horsing it like that.
No, but I think this is again. This was your suggestion. It's kind of a Jared DuBois special. It kind of lives in the spirit of Oh Baby. It doesn't have to be cumulative. It doesn't have to be. It's not a award. It's not a counting award. It's maybe just a vibe in one moment, two moments, a little bit of here or there, a dash. You throw in enough spice in one game that might live throughout the qualifying process, and that's what Gio did against Mexico at the Azteca.
Now, if we had thrown the angriest player in there, Gio and Kellen Acosta, that would have been a fun debate.
Yeah. So
And John
there's
Brooks over in Germany.
swaggiest.
He's pretty mad.
You think that there's one choice for this that the people would go?
I mean, how is it not Weston McKennie, right? It has to be Weston McKennie. Is there anyone even close? I mean, Tim Weah's got moments. Anthony's got moments. But Weston McKennie lives in the swag.
No, but what? Okay, you say that in terms of this, how he carries himself, right? This is
Dude's got his own photographer. You said it. How swaggy is that?
I'm with you, but people might go, okay, who's the swaggiest player on the field? And Sergiño Dest might be the swaggiest dude in the team on the field.
He got the moves. Come on. He got the moves. I mean, he passed him on the Dutch. Passed the Dutchie on the left-hand side, which is on the right these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say from swaggiest player, he's probably there, but I'm just talking about the living your life that way. So for me, it's Weston McKinney. Who are you going with?
I'm going to go Dest. I'm going to pick Dest because what he can do to players, turn people inside out, I got to go with Dest.
And what offensive players can do to him.
I don't have I should have gotten a drum roll for all this. But anyway, go ahead, Mr. Superling. Tell me.
Well, the people have spoken. And the swaggiest player of the CONCACAF qualifying campaign for the U.S. men's national team was Weston McKinney.
Weston McKinney. Jared, you went with chalk this time. I mean, you got the right pick. But I think, it's there's nothing wrong with that pick.
Didn't the world feel empty that last window without him?
Here's how you know the man is swaggy. You know the man is swaggy because he can put that thing in his hair. He can choose to give himself a skunk spot, right? That's what we used to call that. My kid actually, my 13-year-old actually has a little blonde spot in the back of his head.
On purpose or it just happens?
No, it just happens. It's natural. Okay. It's like his birthmark. He had it when he was a baby.
Yeah.
Weston can do that. And some people might be like, dude, what are you doing? Bro, what's that? But most people are like, oh, that's just, hey, Weston McKinney. And, it's probably like, oh, my grandma can spot me on the field, like the way that Jossie's artist used to do with his blonde hair. It's probably something like that. But nobody gives Weston a hard time about it. Right? Nobody's questioning. He sets the trend, not the other way around. He's not following, he's setting. Right? That's how you know he's swaggy. That's how you know.
Yeah, I mean, and the way I know he's the swaggiest is because all I could think about when I'm watching locker room celebrations that's a tenth of what it would have been if Weston had been in the room.
And how much did we miss out on? That he wasn't there to celebrate qualifying. How much did we miss out?
I think quite a bit, man. You saw Tim Weah with the goggles on the side. I don't know what Weston would have done, but it just would have been pure joy, pure joy. We missed out.
Oh, he would have been right there with Christian, pounding the beer, going.
Are you surprised with the Pulisic beer spike? I didn't know he had a beer spike in him.
I think that was a lot. There was a cathartic release happening there. Like, I don't know. And what's crazy to me, and again, we talked about this already, is that when I was the age that most of these guys are, I was doing that on the regular, on the weekend for fun, not because I qualified for the World Cup. And they don't even get to do that stuff. Like, I'm sure some of them have a pop or drink a little bit every now and then, but none of them
can't even drink yet.
I mean, that's the thing.
Well, you got to guess there.
In Costa Rica, I think you can. But it doesn't really matter. The point is that, these guys are like doing something as a release that they don't do because they're highly tuned athletes. And Christian's like,
Nick, what you got for us, baby?
Let's move on. All right. So in some of these leagues, like the NFL, baseball, you always have the rookie of the year.
Yes.
In soccer, it's a little bit different because you've got caps, right? And so coming into this qualifying campaign, we wanted to ask you, who was the best newcomer? And at first, the newcomer we thought was somebody that had 3 or less caps. And then you look at who all played, and it was really just not enough people within that pool to really qualify for that. So really, we just wanted to put out there, who was the best, I guess, newcomer to you on this U.S. men's national team here in the qualifying campaign? So who was the best newcomer?
Okay, here we go.
There's a few legit candidates here. I think
Musa.
Musa definitely. I mean, we literally named a midfield after with Musa and MMA, right?
Yeah, we went MMA.
We talked about it earlier. Walker Zimmerman, huge. Now, whether you want to call him a newcomer because he had iterations and call-ups in the past, but he really cemented where he wasn't really on anyone's mind at the beginning of this. I mean, no one benefited more from the Aaron Long injury than Walker Zimmerman.
Yeah.
But
the
also,
whole team of newcomers. That's the funny thing. Is the whole damn team is.
It kind of is, right? There's 2. I don't know. I'll still pick my one. I'm not sure about my one. What else you got, Jason?
So I think that if I look to pick somebody who was important across the entirety of qualifying is really tough because things changed over the course of it was 6 months, but it was very packed in, 3 games per window in a lot of cases. I know he faded, and I know he wasn't what he had been when he arrived. But it's really hard for me not to think that Ricardo Pepi is the newcomer because he was a teenager. He made a splash by choosing the U.S. He scores goals when we need it. He sets up the first goal against Honduras.
He also didn't score down the stretch.
I know.
But neither of us has said the one I think that I'm going to actually pick, and that's Jedi Robinson. You remember that the left back position was one of the biggest question marks going into qualifying. It didn't take very long where you didn't even think about that position anymore. The dude was just ready to go. We were talking about Sam Vines in September.
I think I thought about it, but only in the sense that there wasn't a better option. It's not that I'm I think Robinson's a good left back. I don't think he's the answer in a way that makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
What I'm saying is that he's gone further than what Ricardo Pepi did in terms of making himself a part of the team.
No, that's true. That's true. He is more integral to what this team is, and he is. I mean, the fact that Berhalter basically
and played most minutes too, right?
Threw off. Yeah, I think so. He just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm not calling another left back. We're just gonna roll with Jedi. Jedi's our guy. He's got the force. Whatever. Let's just play him, right? Yeah. And again.
And this is a good point right here. From did you get it?
Yeah,
sorry.
Same thing. All right, that's only for the video people. They got that. Yeah, put it up there.
There you go.
Epic. How do you say it?
Epictetus Casanova.
Epictetus Casanova. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Jedi doesn't feel like a newbie, and that's basically what he's done. That's what he's done. He's convinced you that he's not, but he was starting this qualifying. I don't know how many caps do you think he had going into qualifying? 3 or 4?
It's funny that you say that, Jared, because I thought it was 3 to 4, but Mr. Radio Show up here pointed out quickly.
Oh, wait, who has a radio show? Do I have a radio show? Jared, did you have a radio show? You didn't know.
You're not playing the drop?
WNBC. WN.
It was not firing right. I didn't like it.
Over it.
Oh, okay. Still going.
It's
Doesn't
got
know
some
what he wants to do.
Sauce from Dempsey over there. He actually had like 13 or 14.
Wow.
Well, so he got introduced, and then he played in a bunch of non-competitive stuff. Like, he was just around, and Berhalter used him, but he wasn't locked in the way that you're talking about, Jared, clearly. Like, he wasn't the
I was
left
very
back.
surprised by that, Jared.
We're so far removed from it now, too. We forget that this dude was on a plane, AC Milan. He was supposed to be in AC Milan right now. You know, if it wasn't for that heart
Well, he's
issue.
about to go back to the Premier League. We'll see if he stays this summer, but he's about
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
not sure how
back to
long
the
his
Premier League.
his contract with Fulham is either. But, I mean, if they're looking to turn a profit. Now, here's the thing. Going into it might be a bad thing for him because Fulham's going to get that Premier League windfall of money. They don't feel pressured probably to sell him high right now. They might just choose to keep him. So it might hold him back from making a move.
Maybe. If he wants to go, I don't know. They might let him go if they have money to spend on somebody else. But go ahead. Let's get into this. Let's see. Okay.
And we'll even say the winner.
Uh-huh.
We even debuted a drop here on the Best Soccer Show 4.
We did. Who?
And the winner for the newcomer of CONCACAF qualifying is
Ricardo
Pepi
Pepi.
Train.
Right.
Man,
now,
y'all got it wrong.
This is the thing about the Pepi. I said Pepi, but the thing about
the fans got it wrong.
Oh, the fans got it wrong. The board is not liking this right now. That's what's happening.
Too many resources
that was
being
it.
used on that computer.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm running other stuff. Let's try one more time.
Do we have to?
No. Okay, it's gone. It's gone.
It sounds like the Chipmunks.
Well, that's because we sped it up because you didn't like how long it took.
Right.
You were so angry that it took so long to play that I sped it up, and now it sounds like the Chugga Chugga Chipmunks. Ricardo Pepi, like, again, it's not that he was great across qualifying or that he was even great after his initial burst, but we needed him when he scored goals. And I think it's fair as a teenager that he gets that kind of love, even if there are other guys. And again, Jedi mightn't even qualify because he's been around a lot longer than Pepi. Pepi had 0 caps when he started against Honduras, right?
Yeah.
0.
I guess I'm thinking more like breakout player. In terms of actual newcomer, it might be the right choice. I want to put an honorable mention real quick in there for Luka Delatorre as well.
Oh, no. Luka Delatorre definitely deserves an honorable mention. And maybe there's some, I would think that recency bias might get more votes for Luka Delatorre, but it turns out that Ricardo Pepi's goals kind of stand out. Goal scorers always get the love, right? Goals are sexy. Luka Delatorre just does the dirty work or just does midfield work. All right, what else we got?
Musa didn't get more votes.
That's a good one too.
Relatively new.
Yeah, no, he didn't have anything because remember,
his first cap was in 2021.
Berhalter held him out of the Nations League. He wasn't cap tied coming into qualifying, and people were freaking out that he didn't get cap tied in the Nations League.
Yeah.
Berhalter kind of slow played it, Then he gets his opportunity in qualifying. That's a good shout, too. Yunus Musa absolutely should be in there, too. All right.
So we got 3 more categories. We'll try to fire through these pretty quickly here. Let's go with, and we kind of talked about this earlier in the show, the Unsung Hero.
Okay.
Who for you was the Unsung Hero?
Doesn't get love. Doesn't get
Somebody we don't
love.
talk a lot about. Okay. This one's tough because everybody's
Somebody that had
very
an
high
impact,
profile.
but it gets overlooked.
Man, I got 2 names for this one. I got two places we can go with this. I think one I mentioned earlier is Kellen Acosta. I think Kellen Acosta maybe doesn't get enough run. I'm gonna throw another one there. You know, I'm not a big fan of this guy. He's not my choice for this position, but
DeAndre
Yedlin.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I have a different one.
Okay.
I'm talking this out. This is not necessarily. I'm not sure I'm going to go to the wall for this, but I'm thinking Paul Arriola might deserve a little bit more love than he gets.
Did he get enough minutes to qualify for this, though?
I mean, I remember him starting and playing very well against Jamaica and Austin because I was there. He did the work needed after picking up the injury.
I can't remember if it was the Mexico game or what, but I can't remember if it was the Mexico game or not. But I remember him forcing turnovers in one of the games with pressure. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think his work, the stuff he does, and again, like defensive forwards are not sexy. People don't want that. They want forwards to go score goals and create things. And
let's not sell the man short. The guy scored a fantastic header.
He scored against Panama. Again, set up Pepe to score against Jamaica. I think he probably does a little bit more love than he gets. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy that's going to win this award, though. I think Kellen Acosta could be in that mix, Jared. I think you might be right. I think Brendan Aaronson could kind of be in this mix because I know we talked about him a lot while Pulisic was out and we didn't have Weah, but he kind of faded, and he obviously was injured for the last window, and I feel like maybe we didn't talk enough about him.
I'm going to throw another name out there because no one's like I definitely is unsung by Berhalter, but a hero to the U.S. national team fans, Matt Turner.
Okay, sure.
I mean, that dude did more from the goalkeeper position than Zach Steffen did, and the dude's not getting his love from Berhalter.
I wonder what their numbers.
And he paid
like.
the price.
I haven't gone back and looked. He paid the price. He had frostbite, Jared. That's why he's injured. He had frostbite. Yeah,
that's not why he's injured now.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's. So we got. Do we have a winner? What was the winner?
And I'll be upfront and honest. I talked about it earlier in the show. He was the inspiration for these awards. I thought, where would this team be without him? And the winner the winner for the Unsung Hero Award is the Walker Zimmerman.
All right, it's Walker. That's kind of a weird one. Is he unsung the way that I think of that word?
Maybe you and I have sung his praises so often that we're biased. Maybe to the average U.S. national team fan, he is.
Singing Walker Zimmerman. Sounds like a country song.
No.
We're going to sing Walker.
Who would have thought that he was going to eclipse Miles Robinson, too? That was the one everyone was looking at. Like, oh, Miles Robinson's the guy. He's the dynamic one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we were pretty high on Miles coming out of the Gold Cup period, right? And then
how's Walker Zimmerman not in the Premier League? That dude's made for that league.
No, he didn't go when he was younger, and now he's older, and they're not going to give him. I mean, I don't know. I think that probably I don't know. I mean, Aaron Long got looks. Walker Zimmerman did not. Aaron Long's got next level with athleticism. Walker Zimmerman does not. Maybe
Aaron Long's team wouldn't let him go to Europe either.
That's true. All right, so Walker Zimmerman wins Unsung Player of Qualifying. What do we got left?
We got 2 more.
Okay, let's go.
We'll go with Best Atmosphere. Which
was
the best atmosphere in CONCACAF qualifying in the United States? Jason, you went to Austin.
I did go to Austin. That was a good
Did you go to
atmosphere.
Columbus as well?
I did not go to Columbus. Austin was the only qualifier I made it to.
So to be fair, we're making this call based on how it felt on the TV. A lot of the people who voted on this were at these places.
Correct.
Right. So some people voted based on what they experienced in the stadium, and some people voted what they heard on TV, what they saw on TV, and those are two very
I got to give it up for Minnesota. I mean, the way that crowd showed up in those conditions. I mean, I think that is something that's really.
It's really hard
cool.
to clap with mittens on. It's really hard to clap if you clap too hard, your hands start bleeding. Like
or they shatter.
Like when a White Walker shatters. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. So I really don't have a dog in this. I'm not going to pick anybody.
I think the chalk is Cincinnati, though.
I think the chalk is Cincinnati.
How do you not pick a Dos a Cero?
Yeah, and
especially when they're raining down the chance of Dos a Zero upon.
And that place has seats 26K, right?
Yep,
Something
26.
like that. So there you go. All right.
A lot of recency bias. A lot of people lately talking about that Orlando game versus Panama.
He was good.
A lot of recency bias. But the winner...
By the way, I'm just going to say, I've only been to an all-star game in Orlando, but that place does jump. I don't know what it is about that place, Orlando, or the local drug supply. That place jumps, is all I'm going to say. All right, Cincinnati winning this award.
Now, you just stepped all over
the only
Nick,
thing
man.
I can take pride in. It's the only thing I can take pride about Cincinnati and soccer.
What do you mean? You got the league's leading scorer.
I'm not trying to pour cold water on this, but I will point out Cincinnati had one game, right?
Yeah, Columbus had two.
Okay, Columbus had two. So Columbus with 2 games couldn't catch up to Cincinnati. Is that something you would like to point out?
Absolutely.
Columbus had 2 shots at this, and they couldn't beat Cincinnati. Damn, son.
Or they just spread their votes out across both games.
What did you say?
They just spread their votes out across both games.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
All right, give it up to Cincinnati, the new mecca of
right, like
US
having 2
team.
MVP candidates on the same team. You split the votes. That's what happened to Columbus. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's exactly what happened to Columbus.
Yeah. What else?
All right, our last award. We saved the best for last.
This is what? What is the big one?
Best
this is like
live
best
show,
picture?
best live post show.
That was probably one you guys did because I've really had some issues this year. Okay, go ahead.
Who was the most valuable player of the CONCACAF qualifying campaign for the U.S. men's national team?
Oh, how do people vote, Jared? Do people go with the flashy guy, the guy who scores the goals, the guy who sets things up? Maybe the guy who scored the big goal against the team we hate the most. Is that where we go?
I think there's three options here. I think there's Walker Zimmerman. I think he's a legit candidate for this.
He can be unsung and MVP? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I said I wouldn't have voted for unsung. I didn't even mention his name during that because I feel like he's kind of out there. And if you think about how the U.S. qualified, they qualified through defense mainly. You know?
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
There's Tyler Adams. I think irreplaceable. I think that's a chalk pick probably right there. And then I would say one of the two of either Pulisic or Weah. Weah does it. That's an unsung hero. If we're talking about true unsung heroes, Tim Weah is an unsung hero in this team. Right,
but he's not MVP. He can be unsung, but I don't think he's MVP level, right?
But I think he's better than Christian Pulisic, and I think Pulisic's in this conversation.
You think Pulisic's in the race?
So you thought Weah was better than Pulisic?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see some of Pulisic's games?
I think they both had very good moments. What he played, Pulisic.
I think Pulisic. I think Weah was far more consistent at the position than Pulisic was.
But Weah played
scoring goals.
He played.
Yeah,
Weah scored against Jamaica.
He set up goals as well.
He scored against
including
Jamaica,
the one for Christian Pulisic, which was the man in the mirror moment.
He did. He set that up. Yeah.
All right, where do you
go so far to say Weah was better?
It's Adams for me.
I think it's Tyler Adams. I mean, again, if we had a center forward who scored 5 goals in qualifying or 6 goals in qualifying or something, it would be that player, right? Because goals typically win these kind of awards.
And McKinney's coming up here from David, and I don't think a guy that gets set home for behavior can still be your MVP.
That's a good point. That and then misses the last window because of injury, which is not his fault, but is absent for 3 games, right? So, yeah, that's dicey. I think it's probably Adams. I think we all came to the conclusion that if you take Adams out, it's like the taking the plug out of the bathtub, and you got to have that guy in there.
Nick?
So who is it?
People have spoken, and gentlemen, you are correct.
Tyler Adams,
MVP.
Congratulations, Tyler. We'll be sending you a gift basket and a lovely statuette. Which
what's in the best soccer show gift basket?
Still
it's probably High Noons because I drink them all the time.
Gotta be something from each of us, right?
So gotta be Skyline.
What are we throwing in there?
What are you contributing, Jason?
What am I contributing?
Sushi?
I would throw in. I think some whiskey. I'd pick out a nice bourbon to throw in there. Something.
I thought you were going to say an item off your swap meet shelf behind you.
I should. Like I'll include swap meet. Damn, that was.
There's just so much of it. Pawn shop. Pawn shop.
Is that better?
I don't know. There's just a lot. I'm trying to think where I ever see that many things in such a tight space.
This is only a portion too. Like there's the walls.
We should call it your wall of free.
Sure, you can call it that if you like. Most of these things.
Is there anything on that wall you paid for?
Before you blow up my spot, as you like to do, I will point out that this jersey was given to me free by our man Eddie in Brooklyn, the world's biggest Costa Rica soccer supporter. A guy.
Oh, he sends you things.
He sent me this. He sent me a scarf.
It's weird. I thought this one he called into a show that had both of us on it.
Shout out to Asphalt Green Soccer Club out of
You
New
even
York
got
City.
an extra item. Nice.
This is a scarf. This is the jersey. So I have a scarf and a jersey. Scarf has not found space on the wall because I'm actually out of space right now for scarves. Because
this is my wall of free. This is everything I've ever gotten for free. Did you? Okay, now my question: have you paid for any item on that wall?
So much love over the years. That's the greatest gift a person can give.
Have you paid for any item on that wall?
I have to look. There are things I have paid for. There's
I just can't seem to find one right now.
Most of this stuff I got for free.
All right. Well, in bonus, we'll have to see if you can identify an item that you paid for.
There are a couple of scarves I paid for. Jerseys I have that aren't here because they're in my closet. I paid for some of those. Most of them free, but I paid for some. What about this? Is my favorite. This is my favorite free item. This is my Ricardo Pepi hat that I got in Austin. The American Outlaws logo on the side. See this hat? How do you put this together and it looks kind of like a cowboy hat when you wear it like this?
I do.
Yeehaw.
I do.
Yeehaw. I'm in Austin supporting Ricardo Pepi.
I do want you to do a show with that on. I'm not going to lie.
Reverse cowgirl? Wait, what?
Oh, God. When did Nick decide to start working blue? What is happening? What is happening?
Match his background. Oh, look at him turning red. Look at him turning red. This is my favorite thing. Blue on red.
This is what, this. Now you look like any English soccer match you turn on a given Saturday.
Yeah, you look like Big Sam.
Red versus blue. He does. He looks like Big Sam. We've given out all the awards, and we've had our fun this evening. Anything else that we should get to? I mean, I hit the button a couple times. I think we should give. I mean, look, if we're talking national team, I'll give Jesus Ferreira for an O baby for scoring a brace this weekend in a Dallas win. Joe Paulo's not American, but he gets an O baby because you don't hit a ball better than Joe Paulo hit a ball this weekend.
Yeah.
What else you got, Jared? You want to give the refs? Hold on, the refs. Do you want to give VAR an O baby from that?
For getting the call right? That's their job.
Vela was off. Okay. All right.
I mean, they literally reviewed that too. He didn't have to. He was so off. The referee didn't have to go look at the monitor.
Okay.
They made the call from the booth. That's how off he was.
Okay. All right.
Okay. What did you say? Did you say Cervania?
I did not. Oh my God, you're right. That thing was. Where did he hit that from?
That had to be like 25 to 30.
No, it was at least 30, right? I was trying to think of a city in Texas because you got to do that thing where you're like, hey, he scored that from Plano.
That thing had more movement than Dolly Parton in an earthquake.
She's the star of the best little whorehouse in Texas, so it all comes together.
Yeah.
Right there. Look at that. All right. What else?
Shout out to Jesus Ferreira and Jesse Marsh. Both
Shout
have
out
good weekends.
to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, unbeaten. The only unbeaten team left.
Did we
in
all
Major
take
League
them
Soccer?
first place in the East in our predictions? I know I did.
I believe we did. Thanks to your boys, they are now the only unbeaten team. Should we give some love to Miami? I mean, look.
You could give some love to the Galaxy. All I hear is shade, but you could give some love to the Galaxy.
And congratulations to the Galaxy. Chicharito Hernandez is playing really
Raheem
good
Edwards
soccer.
is the truth.
Raheem Edwards. What did it? I know that there was a history there, and I'm sure that Greg Vanny thought, "Oh, this is a guy I like." Did he know he was getting that guy?
Raheem Edwards, is he Canadian?
No, he played in Toronto.
No, but is he Canadian? I think for some reason he's not American eligible. He's somewhere else. I think I want to say he's Canada.
He's not. He's not
Canadian.
No, I'm pretty sure he's.
He is a Canadian professional soccer player.
Is. You're right. He is Canadian. Wow.
Man, is there some dual action there? Maybe I don't know. We got Anthony Robinson.
No. He's in the national. He's in the national team, right?
I mean, he's behind Alphonso Davies. That's the sad thing. He's
behind Davies. There's Buchanan on the other side. They've got a couple other guys as well. Okay, I didn't know Raheem Edwards was Canadian.
Your MLS assist leader is not Georgi Mihalovic. It's a left back from the Galaxy.
Am I supposed to now? And shout out to Vince, who is here. He's got 4 caps. Lots of calls for him to become in the Nations League. Okay, so he's not a regular. He's not in the team as a solid contributor yet. So shout out to Vince, who's giving us his take on Raheem Edwards. Am I supposed to acknowledge the possibility that good soccer players are Canadian now? Is that the thing I have to do? Like now
You
I
haven't
have to
done
be
that
like,
already?
He could be
They
Canadian.
literally qualified first.
No, you're right. I maybe I'm behind the curve. I need to adjust.
No, you need to embrace the fact that good soccer coaches are Canadian.
Who's a good Canadian soccer coach?
Well, I think Herdman's better than...
Not Canadian.
He's not Canadian? Oh, he's English, huh? He's English.
No,
Dang
they borrowed that guy, but he's
bad.
doing the work. He's
Yeah.
doing the work. Yeah.
I still think it's weird to have a Bluetooth in your ear, like a AirPod in your ear during you coach, and have it flesh colored is disturbing.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's a whole discussion for another day. We are way over. What do you want to get anything else in before we go?
That's it.
Any other business?
Shout out to Jesse Marsh.
Should we? I wish I had a round of applause. I wish we could play out the. Should I bring up the music one more time? I killed the music. We can't do that. And oh, thank you. Like the credits.
We say
roll.
thanks to Nikki Soup and Sausage.
We should.
Putting it
Thank
together.
you to Nikki Soup and Sausage
Yeah,
for all the work.
And it was fun putting that together, and thanks to Morgan.
Thanks to Morgan for putting the images up and getting that together for us. She's out celebrating country music or something. I don't even know. Anything? Okay,
that should be celebrated.
I already asked if there's anything left, so no more calls for anything left. Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow is where you can go and get extra stuff. We're working on some bonus stuff. We need to provide some more. We are there are some calls. It's been starting to pick up some steam for the drunk bonus show. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Dude,
but
you see how I talk when I'm sober. I'm not sure that we will have a show
If we
afterwards.
do a drunk bonus show, there may be an NDA attached when you download it to your
Dude, I can't
to your
have Morgan on
device.
that show, dude. I
No,
can't say
that
the things
might-
that I'm going to say when I'm drunk with her on that show.
Okay,
I love you,
we'll
Morgan,
talk
but
all
I
this
don't know
out.
we can do that.
We'll talk all that out. We may or may not do a drunk bonus show. We do bonus shows of other types that are just they are good. I'm not saying they're going to be as good as that, but they are good. So patreon.com/thebestsoccershow.
Somewhere in the
Slack
archives
community-
is the Newlywed show as well. The Newlywed
That's
game
in there.
show.
Yeah, you get access to all the your feed should populate with all the past bonus shows, which are timeless. To be honest with you, sometimes there's soccer stuff, but man, it's a wild free for all over there.
Just smorgasbord.
Yes, whatever he said. There's the Slack, the community, people making plans for summer hangouts already. They're talking about
I miss that.
Pittsburgh and USL
Traveling for
and
Nations League.
Nations League travel, going to who do we get? We didn't even talk about the draw. Bahamas, Bermudas,
Grenada.
Grenadas.
No, we got
I wanna
Grenada.
take
We
it.
didn't get Bahamas. We got Grenada.
Grenada. We got Grenada, and who else?
El Salvador?
El Salvador. Okay, so there's that. That's one of the aspects of the bonus experience. Am I missing any bonus experience stuff that's worth pushing right now?
Me eating on the bonus show, which is about to happen in a second.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
Got
We're going to
a
go
burrito
record a bonus
ready.
show. Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow. Follow us on Twitter at BestieSoccer. Follow us on Instagram at The Best Soccer Show. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Danger Zone! You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Damn, dog, that's an approach.
What are we doing? It was here we go, saucing them up. Hit him, wet.
You feel respect for the Gegner.
Oh, it's incredible!
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Go to DEFCON 2.
Calm down, Greg. It's soccer. It's soccer.